If you love Paul Harvey stories and the rest of the story, subscribe now. It was a good thing Leslie's father had been giving him boxing lessons since the age of 4, because with a name like Leslie Towns and a proper British accent spoken in a voice that was high even for an 8-year-old, and the frilly English schoolboy clothing his mother made him wear, even though he now lived in Cleveland, all of these things considered, the young fella had to know how to fight. In fact, Leslie got pretty good with his fists. He began training seriously at Charlie Marotta's athletic club on 79th Street. By the age of 16, he was lightning fast and graveyard deadly. By now, the British accent had faded and the voice had deepened. The Eton jacket and the short pants were outgrown. Now it was time for the name to go as well. For his new identity, he chose the name Packy East, a tribute to the immortal prizefighter Packy McFarland. But Leslie was determined not to come up through the boxing ranks, as had so many half-awake palookas that he had seen shooting pool at Alhambra's. Leslie would do it the gentleman's way, the Ohio State amateur boxing matches. At the weigh-in, he missed the next lower weight class by only 3 pounds. But no matter, Leslie knew the kind of talent he was bringing into the ring, and no mere weight advantage would be enough to rescue an opponent. His first bout in the state championships, Packy East won by a clean pile-driving knockout in the first round. Next challenger, another KO, and another, until this teenage nobody in the fight game found himself in the semifinals, scheduled to put up his dukes in the main professional boxing arena downtown. Leslie, also known as Packy, read about his next opponent in the Cleveland Plain Dealer. His name was Happy Walsh. The article listed his record, and it was impressive. It mentioned his weight almost the next class up, but it said nothing about how he'd gotten the nickname Happy. Leslie had heard once, but he'd forgotten. But it all came back to him in the second round of that first semi-final bout. Packy East had danced his way around Happy Walsh so far, but now it was time to get serious. Packy threw a hard right, the hardest he knew how. It landed squarely on Happy's chin. Then Leslie remembered why they called him Happy, because every time he got slugged, he smiled. And it was smiling thus that Happy Walsh answered. He answered with a punch that Leslie never even saw, nor did he recall the pail full of water that his cornerman threw in his face, nor would he remember being carried half-conscious from the ring. But he would never forget the first important decision thereafter. That night, a self-confident teenage contender named Packy East changed his name back